A couple of years ago, some friends gave us this patio table and chairs. It didn't take us long to figure out why they were so eager to be rid of the set. The chairs are heavy and they have no ability to roll, so they must be dragged violently across the pavement. I've spent a lot of time ruminating on the problem, and I think I have a solution, as well as all of the requisite materials. So let's get to it. What I'm thinking is that I'll drill a 1/2-inch hole in each side of each chair leg. Then I'll run a 1/2-inch steel rod cut from 1/2-inch bolts through the holes and through a 1.5-inch long piece of steel tubing that I cut from an old curtain rod. Then I'll weld the bolts to the chair frame. Two problems came to light immediately after starting down this path. The first was figuring out a way to drill all of the holes in the same spot. The chair legs are ground down from being dragged along the cement, so measuring from the bottom won't work. So I tried going from the top down. This worked because the cross members are even between each of the legs. The bar between the front legs is a little lower than the back legs, so I built a jig with 4 holes, 2 for the front legs and 2 for the back legs. I used a jig to start the hole, then I removed it and finished the hole. The holes for the back legs worked perfectly, but when I drilled the front leg, one hole was way off. I thought I built a faulty jig, but it turned out that I entered the hole at a weird angle.
That's what she said.
This was when the second problem presented itself. First of all, I wasn't looking forward to drilling 40 more holes, but doing it this way meant that I would have to go back and basically circumcise all 24 legs by grinding the excess material off so I could expose the roller. That didn't sound terribly pleasant either.
So I took a break and I took a walk to the liquor store to buy a lottery ticket because I wanted to cash in on that $475 million jackpot. And it suddenly hit me. I've been making this way more complicated than it needs to be. The lottery ticket wasn't a winner.
Instead of going through the chair legs, I could just notch the bolts and put them on the ends of the chair legs. It would make the chairs a tiny bit taller, but only about 1/4 inch, so I don't think it will interfere with the bottom of the table too much. So when I got home, I cut 2 notches and 4 bolts. And then I welded them onto the bottom of the legs. Then I trimmed the ends off the bolts and tested the first chair out. It wasn't perfect, but it was better and definitely showed promise. I oiled the rollers to loosen them up a bit, but I was still a little disappointed. I was hoping they would roll a lot easier than this, but any amount of rolling was better than the 0 amount of rolling we were getting from the other 5 chairs at this point.
Oh, a lot better.
It makes that horrible screeching sound though. Go when you're standing up to push back. Yeah, way better.
Nice.
Yeah. Because that's how you adjust it usually.
So, satisfied with the prototype, I moved into production. I started by cutting notches in all of the bolts. Then I ground away the paint on the chair legs and got ready to start welding. This process was so much easier and faster than drilling 48 holes that I wish I had started with this idea. Nevertheless, it's better that I got my head out of my ass on chair 1 than on chair 6. Unfortunately, I had already drilled 8 holes in the first chair, and now there wasn't enough meat to weld the bolts to. So I just went ahead with my original plan on this one and ran the bolts through the legs. As I finished each chair, I staged them in the paint department to paint them all at once. And now the only thing left to do is see how they work. I would call that a success. Over the course of a couple of weeks, they've gotten even smoother too.
It is so nice to be able to sit down at these chairs without hearing a pterodactyl shrieking every time you move the chair.
I just like that I can move it without lifting it up.
Or putting it in position and then climbing over the table to sit
yeah,
down.
that's what I used to do is I would tuck it in and then I would climb in and sit because there was no moving it once you were in it. So the fact that I could just use my legs, awesome.
I call that a success, but we're not done with this table and chairs yet. We're going to do 2 modifications to this table. One strictly for functionality and the other is purely for aesthetics. It's going to be totally custom, not another one like it in the entire world. I can guarantee that as a fact.
I'm super excited.
Me too.
I wanted to do it for years.
But that's going to be for another video, so be sure to hit the subscribe button and the little bell icon so that you don't miss the rest of the story. And until then, thanks for watching.